In the dark pages of history that is quietly overlooked by mainstream academia, a crucial chapter remains unsettlingly muted, overshadowed by more comfortable narratives. The Islamic conquest of India, one of the most brutal and transformative episodes in human history, is barely discussed in mainstream discourse today. This era, marked by relentless invasions, unimaginable suffering, and the systematic dismantling of an ancient civilization, should be as deeply ingrained in our collective memory as the Holocaust is for the Jewish people. Every Hindu must grasp the magnitude of this dark chapter, a narrative of profound loss and brutal conquest that reshaped an entire subcontinent. This is the unheard, bloodiest story in the history of mankind, a tale that demands recognition, remembrance, and reverence. In 1186, the Ghuri, a Turkish tribe from Afghanistan, invaded India, captured Delhi, demolished its temples, seized its wealth, and established the Sultanate of Delhi. This foreign dictatorship dominated northern India for 3 centuries, often disrupted by assassination and revolt. The first of these ruthless sultans, Qutb-ud-Din Aibak, exemplified the typical traits of his time: fanaticism, cruelty, and lack of mercy. According to Muslim historian, his gifts were bestowed by hundreds of thousands, and his slaughtered likewise were by hundreds of thousands. In one of his victories, this former slave-turned-warrior enslaved 50,000 people, turning the plains dark with captured Hindus. Sultan Balban enforced his rule with brutal methods, dealing with rebels and criminals by having them trampled by elephants or by flaying them and displaying their stuffed skins at Delhi's gates. In a particularly horrific event, Sultan Alauddin Khilji, known for conquering Chittor, responded to a Mongol uprising by slaughtering 15,000 to 30,000 male Mongol converts to Islam in a single day. Sultan Muhammad bin Tughlaq ascended to the throne after murdering his father. An intellectual who excelled in various fields, including mathematics, physics, and Greek philosophy, he nevertheless suppressed his predecessors in cruelty and bloodshed. He gruesomely fed flesh of rebel nephew to the man's own family and devastated the country with reckless economic policies, pillage, and murder, driving many to flee into the wilderness. According to a Muslim historian, a mound of dead bodies and a heap of corpses was a constant sight before his royal pavilion and civil court, as executioners worked tirelessly to carry out his orders. In his ambitious project to establish a new capital at Daulatabad or Devagiri, Muhammad bin Tughlaq forced the entire population of Delhi to relocate, leaving the city deserted. When he heard that a blind man had been left behind, he ordered the unfortunate soul to be dragged to the new capital, leaving only a leg remaining after the torturous journey. Despite these atrocities, the Sultan lamented the people did not appreciate his justice. He ruled for 25 years and died peacefully in bed. His successor Firoz Shah Tughlaq continued the legacy of violence. He invaded Bengal, offering rewards to Hindu heads, and paid for 180,000 of them. He raided Hindu villages, capturing slaves, and lived to the age of 80. Sultan Ahmad Shah celebrated for 3 days, whenever 20,000 defenseless Hindus were slain in his realm in a single day. These rulers were often capable leaders, and their followers possessed a fierce courage and industrious spirit. This combination explains how they managed to maintain control over a population that overwhelmingly outnumbered them and was largely hostile. They enforced strict laws that made the public practice of Hindu religions illegal, which paradoxically deepened the devotion of Hindus. During this brutal rule, the Muslim kings commissioned artists and artisans, frequently of Hindu origin, to construct magnificent mosques and tombs, leaving behind a legacy of architectural splendor. One of Asia's greatest scholars, Al-Biruni, accompanied Muhammad of Ghazni to India and authored a comprehensive survey of the country, comparable to Pliny's Natural History and Humboldt's Cosmos. Muslim historians were as numerous as the generals and equally enthusiastic about recording the bloodshed and the wars they witnessed. The sultans extracted every possible rupee from the people, employing both established methods of taxation and outright robbery. Their reign of terror and exploitation contributed to further weakening of Hindu populace, already burdened by harsh climate, inadequate nutrition, political disunity, and new religious cults of Hinduism that often promoted a pessimistic outlook. The Sultan's typical policy was starkly outlined by Alauddin Khilji, who instructed his advisors to establish rules and regulations for grinding down Hindus and for depriving them of that wealth and property which fosters disaffection and rebellion. The government collected half of the gross produce of the land, whereas native rulers had taken only 1/6. A Muslim historian noted that no Hindu could hold up his head, and in their houses no signs of gold or silver or any superfluity was to be seen. Blows, confinement in stocks, imprisonment, and chains were all employed to enforce payment. When one of his advisors objected to these harsh measures, Alauddin responded, "O doctor, you are a learned man, but you lack experience. I may be uneducated, but I have plenty of practical knowledge. Understand this: the Hindus will never be submissive and obedient unless they are reduced to poverty. That is why I have ordered that they be left with just enough food, corn, milk, and curds from year to year. But they must not be allowed to accumulate wealth or property." The current generation of Hindus must confront and learn from this brutal legacy. This is a tale of how internal divisions, misplaced pacifism, and a lack of preparedness led to an era of terror and subjugation. The suffering endured and the resilience demonstrated during these times are a testament to the need for vigilance, unity, and preparedness. The lessons of history, as painful as they may be, are crucial. They remind us that while cherishing peace, we must also remain steadfast in our resolve to defend our heritage and values. This untold, bloodiest chapter of mankind's history must be remembered, a story that should never be forgotten or forgiven.